All right, folks, we are back with another video. We are bundled up in the middle of summer. Another absolutely ridiculous day. Now, we got to this lake an hour ago, hour and a half ago, hour 45 ago, launched the boat, proceeded to come out here for about 20 minutes. Most insane, maybe we'll insert a crazy shot right here, Mitchell, of the crazy clouds. Is that acceptable?
Sure.
Insane, like thunderhead storm came in. They were predicting no rain, and then that changed to 60-mile-an-hour winds and 1-inch hail potential. And then we just went and ate breakfast, and now we're back. So, been a little bit of a delayed start today, but the goal is to dodge thunderstorms today. We got another one of these weeks that's just brutal weather, can't film in the rain, but here we are. We're supposed to have like a 2 or 3 hour gap here in the rain to hopefully catch some big walleyes. So, water temp 65, time 11 a.m. Goal, big walleyes. All right, goal here today. Well, it doesn't look like summer. It's about 55 degrees outside. We have water temps that are 65. Well, cool bite you have happen at this time of year is when big fish begin to isolate themselves out off of structure. A lot of times you get up in the weeds, you get up in the rocks. Not to say this happens everywhere, but what you'll see is you'll see eater-sized fish in shallow cover. And then a lot of times out over the middle of nowhere. Or you'll have like a shallow spot here, a deep spot here. You'll see the big fish hanging what I call the big fish zone. And that's where we're gonna kind of be looking for them. And we're gonna fish with just 2 summertime standbys. 1, Shiver Minnow, Moonshine, number 3, Purple Goby. 1, absolute staple. Man, it'd be just dumb to go anywhere without it. My crawler's already about to fall off though. 5/8 search bait and gizzard shad. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fly around. Hopefully we see some fish relating to some off structure stuff. And we'll see what happens. Oh, okay. I see how we're gonna do it today. Right there. Fish on. Wow. Just went through the gauntlet of different baits. Search bait, swim bait, put on a big old Shiver Minnow. First cast, he actually bit it twice, which is a really good sign.
It's feeling good?
Yeah.
It's looking good.
Yeah, feeling real good, dude. If we get to do this today, I'm gonna be in heaven. There's no way I would rather fish
Oh, that thing's really...
than to put on a big, huge chunk of lead, snap it around, and make big walleyes bite. Look at that thing.
Oh,
Stud, dude.
Looks like a muskie coming up from the depths.
Stud.
That is a big... Dude, remember, don't lose it. Don't lose it.
This is gonna be fun. We might be dialing something in here, Mitchell.
Oh, I'm about to fall.
Come here, buddy.
This is a big fish. That's
You
30
did just
inches.
kind of trap at the
30
bottom.
inches.
Oh, what a nice one to start. What a nice one to start. Well, we're dealing with just absolutely insane weather systems, dude.
I had my camera still in the bag because of the rain.
Really?
Yeah, it took me a while to pull it out.
You guys might need trapped at the bottom, which you'll see him do that a lot. Obviously, he went for it twice, but he got it the second time. But that was literally my first cast, dealing with absolutely just out of control weather.
He might not be 30, but he sure has a build of it.
Yeah, he's 27, I would say. You may have to grab my pliers here, Mitchell. Just be a good sport about it.
Sure thing.
I'll get this guy unhooked. The way he's hooked, I'm just gonna hook myself trying to unhook him. Right there underneath, and you'll see him trap at the bottom like that a lot. Come here, buddy. Get you off, get you off. There you go, my first Shiver minnow walleye of the season. And if that ain't a good one to start. 27, you think?
Yeah, he's shorter
26.
than I thought, but his build is just
incredible build on him.
big.
Wow, dude. Went through the gauntlet of baits that I normally fish at this time of year and was like, oh man, I think these fish are a little bit deeper than I thought they were. Threw that jump bait at him, immediate first cast he bit. That's pretty cool, huh? That is just a brute, son.
That's a big fish.
That is a brute. Now we just got to put a little pattern together. We keep filming this summer and we're like, oh, catch an early summer walleyes. And then we'll get comments like, you guys are wearing winter attire. You can't tell me that's summer. It was like 70 degrees an hour ago. Now it's like 50 degrees out.
Yeah, it's cold.
Insane. That's just, I mean, a huge front just blasted through.
Looks like the sun might pop back out at some point, though.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Dry Mitch's Crocs off a little bit.
My Crocs are wet. Show the folks at home, my Crocs are wet.
But anyways, I just put on.
Only get like a 3 or 4 hour window too.
Yeah, I just put on the old Purple 3 Shiver. Purple Goby, I believe is the color. And that was literally my first cast that fish bit. We'll take that, baby. We'll take that. Oh my gosh. Right there. Feeling big. Maybe not as big. Wow. Casted that search bait out. Saw that fish was kind of real close and down by the bottom, so I just literally stud. Another stud. So I just literally let that thing fall back to bottom. Started reeling again, and just immediately, dude. Look at these things. These things are some whales, dude. For
That's a big fish.
inland lakes. Unreal, man. Absolutely unreal. I'm like almost shocked just by these fish right now. Wow.
I literally didn't even hear you like set the hook or anything.
Yeah,
All I heard was another big one. I was like, what?
I literally said before that cast, I'm like, I don't want to give up on the search bait yet. And that's why you don't right there. That is a heavy fish, dude. That's got to be dang near a 7-pound fish.
Dude, that one's bigger than the first one.
Maybe 6.5 pounds.
That one's longer, definitely longer.
I mean, just a horse, dude. Absolute horse. And these are some really, really stud daddy fish here.
Do you have a bump board in here for the folks at home?
I don't even know if I do have one.
'Cause I'd like to measure that one. I bet you it's 28.5, 29.
Yeah, probably right in there somewhere.
Look at his clip fin.
Yeah, he was a survey fish. A lot of times in Wisconsin anyways, I don't know about other states, but you'll see they'll clip a fin and fish they survey. So when they go back through the following night, if they get more fin clips, that's how they'll judge how many fish are in the system.
This is a tank.
That's a long one, dude.
It is. It's a long
It's a really nice fish. He ain't like 30 inches or anything, but to come to one of these inland lakes and average fish that size.
Where's your board? Let's bump
unbelievable. I didn't even bring one.
You sure?
Positive.
Measure it with your hand, you know what I mean? Like
We're not gonna do that. Doesn't matter how long he is. Super quality one though, man. Wow. That is unreal, dude. That is unreal. Oh man. Now we just need the weather to buy us a little bit of time here, Mitchell, in between storm fronts.
Yep. We got a little bit of time.
This is your classic summer arsenal right here. You got big, heavy lead shiver minnow, reaction bite. Other bait, 5/8 ounce Kalen's search bait. This is a brand new one for this year, as you guys know, and obviously it's just a wicked good summertime bait, but we're doing the dang thing. This is like straight up summer fish, and these fish slid out a little bit deeper. We're fishing out like 30 feet, and some of these fish are like halfway down. So that's kind of the deal. Some of them are on the bottom, and it looks like about 22, 23, 24 feet of water. And one thing I'll do is if I am gonna do fishing exclusively big fish thing, I have a bad habit of really putting a lot of pressure on fish. That is a big old bass flipping hook. But I mean, you get a fish like that, you want to obviously drill them and have the biggest hook you can on there. And I like to go to that big, hefty hook on there. Do that again, huh? Mm-hmm. Daddy's having a good time. Daddy's having a good time. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there too. I'm not a father, not to my knowledge anyways. But I got a couple nice pups at home. Mitchell's giving me a really strange look right now, like, are you really saying this stuff?
No, I don't care what you're saying.
All right, back to it.
I was just thinking how I'm a father to some dogs and chickens and cats and,
yeah,
you know.
Mitchell was asking a little bit, we should film a talking piece on what you do when big fronts are rolling around. And honestly, I don't have like a really great answer. A lot of it's just kind of about seeing what the fish's mood is. And one of the ways you could do that in my mind is by being confident that when you're casting out, you're around fish, right? Whether you're doing that with a forward facing, whether you're doing that with a side imaging, when you cast out and you know that your bait is near fish, it makes that progression a lot quicker, so you know what's going on. You're like, wow, I just casted 4 times at that fish and the fish did not respond at all. Versus like, you know, just hoping that you're always around fish, right? If the whole time you're fishing, you're just hoping that you're around walleyes, it's gonna be tough to kind of make those adjustments to say, oh, something changed, right? It's gonna take you a lot longer to kind of figure that out. Where each time we're casting out, we're relatively confident we're around walleyes. So it makes the whole progression of like, oh, what should I throw? If you throw one thing twice and get 0 reaction out of the fish, obviously it's time to change something else. Kind of what we're doing here is just a 1-2 approach. If I put my bait around a couple of fish that don't bite the search bait, I'll switch immediately to something snappy. And a lot of times it won't just be like a, oh, this is the secret juice to catching fish today, right? A lot of times it might be just, you know, fish just are less bitey or more bitey. I would say overall, when you get weather where there's like just a ton of fronts rolling through, fish are a little bit less bitey. They like stability a little bit more. If you're on the lead edge of a big front change after a bunch of consistent weather, that can be a good time where fish get really active. But a lot of times, like during this, like, oh, there's a front 6 hours ago, there's another front coming in now, you see fishing a little bit less good overall, I'd say.
Also what you're saying, so rain or shine or low pressure, high pressure, go fishing, get around fish.
Yeah.
Cast a bunch of baits, and that's how you learn. And not so much focus on what the forecast says or what the barometer says.
Yeah, it's much less about one little secret that, you know, oh yeah, post-frontal east wind, this is what I like to do. See, I just made 2 casts of these fish and had no bites. Now, they're obviously not just incredibly dumb, but it is possible they just want something snappy. So now I'll go ahead and put this on them. We'll see if that changes anything here in about 3 seconds. And I don't know how much this shows. If you guys watch our live streams, you know it's not like every cast we're cast out, we're catching a video. Or we're catching a fish every single cast out. So if you guys watch these and it looks like that, it's generally not the case. I'm obviously making quite a few casts too. Not seeing like a million fish around, but some of them are. They will sit kind of somewhat still, to the point I'm not even sure if they're all walleyes or some of them are like a whitefish or something. He ain't gonna bite, Mitchell.
Nope.
He's not making an athletic attempt at me.
Nope.
But one thing to note too is I'm not gonna get locked down just fishing for a group of fish that don't bite. The number of times you might get up, pull up into one spot, struggle to catch a fish, go across this a little lake like this and get on another spot, and all of a sudden you're like, holy cow, we just pulled 3 out of that school. Super common thing to have happen. Come on. Very next cast. Literally made 1 more cast, caught this fish. My first pass on this spot, I must have just been way too shallow. Look at these things, dude. Unbelievable. Well, today's one of those days when we left home, we're literally like, are we going to fish at all today? And after, once again, getting breakfast, this is insane, dude.
It is. Is this the key, the secret to Stop and get some breakfast.
Don't even convince yourself it's the breakfast that
might
is
be.
making this possible.
It might be.
Look at these
Holy
freaking
crap,
walleyes, dude.
When that thing comes up, it looks like a giant muskie.
I mean, just tanks. That was another on the search bait, but I literally just made one more cast and caught this fish. Unbelievable, man. I'm in heaven right now. I gotta scoot over here and grab my net. Hopefully he stays on. Just a horse, man. Just a freaking horse.
That one might be bigger than the than the first
The
two.
build is insane.
That is crazy.
If there's one thing I've learned about trying to find new water is a lot of times, you know, you can find all sorts of like walleye densities and things like that. But if you want to target fish that look like this, try to find lakes that have ciscos or whitefish or big shad like forage. Lakes that have the right forage will often yield big walleyes.
That's a big fish.
Just tanks, dude. I can't tell you guys for like inland northern Wisconsin how much of a rarity this is. To just catch fish after fish mid to upper 20s that's built like that. Unreal. That's pretty crazy. I'm kind of speechless right now.
Tank.
Just horses, dude. Horses. That is what we like to see right there, baby. Whew. We're gonna get it done, Mitchell. I mean, we got a thunderstorm, another storm readily coming in. We're gonna get it done. And we've got 3 in like what, 10, 12 minutes
Yeah.
now? It's pretty crazy. I don't know what I want to throw more, the search bait or the Shiver Minnow right now.
I'll throw the search bait off the back.
Here we go. This is about the time of day Mitchell gets that magic second rod going.
That's right.
Got him right there. This one maybe not as big, but then again, maybe it is. All right, it's getting bigger. Okay, yeah, it's getting bigger. Anytime you're dealing with big fish and hooking them on these glide baits, I don't know what's better, just to crank or to do it more like this. Did he just choke it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, not a chance that fish was coming off. No. When they're eating the big Shiver Minnow like that, that's good. Let's get this guy in and do some surgery though, because he absolutely choked it. There isn't a shot in the world of this fish coming off. Still another just super high quality one, man. Wow. One reason I always rig up so many different rods up here, or rods for multiple different things. You want something fast, that's smashy, then a lot of times something slower if you're doing a lot of this basin casting type of stuff. Because you throw at a couple, let's say you throw at a mark and it doesn't move much, go right to a real jumpy thing, or the opposite. When they're eating full-size Shiver Minnows like that, you know they ain't afraid of hitting something big. Let's get him off though, because he is bleeding a little bit. Look at that, dude. That's the smallest one of the day so far. 24?
Yeah, 24, 25.
24, 25, Mitchell says. Let's get him back though, because he's bleeding a little bit. So important on these big fish systems like this. There's not like crazy numbers. I mean, really any big fish in any system. If you're fishing a lake that's a couple thousand acres like this, or 500 acres or whatever, these big fish are not a super common resource. So there's no reason to ever keep one like that, obviously. You know? And we always get asked the question over and over, oh, that fish was bleeding, why'd you let him go? Well, the reality is that if you keep it, there's a 100% chance it's gonna die, right? So always let him go. That fish will be fine. He was bleeding a little bit, but he wasn't hooked that bad. So I'm sure that little guy will be fine. But that's our 1-2 punch, my friends. Big Shiver. I think that's a number 3. I believe they call it purple goby. Tying that straight on. One thing I do like to do with these Shivers is pull the stock hook off, and I'll put a little bit wider gapped, stouter hook on that bottom. You can either put a split ring on here, which is an option. That kind of lessens the chance of them leveraging it. But a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just open this up on the bottom here, put a little bit bigger hook on there, and away you go. Rod-wise, fish with my all-time favorite reaction baits rod. I used to do a lot of this on a rod that was 6'9"-ish, feet, medium fast. Still a great option for doing this. This is a 7.3, 7.2 medium fast reaction baits Elliott Identity Series rod. Arguably my favorite rod for throwing big stuff. And one thing I found was that over the years, I like having a longer rod, something 7+. Just that extra 5 inches, I noticed does a lot for me, because a lot of times you're fishing these big reaction baits, like just like that one you guys saw me catch there. When I'm working the bait, I do a lot of this. So like by the time I do a big rip and realize I got one right here, if my rod's short, it's like I run out of room. Where like these bigger rods, it's like I load the rod more out here, and then I got that extra swing to land these fish. So I used to fish a lot of like 6'9" stuff. For fishing a lot of this big stuff, especially if I'm doing like a forward facing thing, I like a 7.2 to like 7.6 now. Kind of just one of those things that as I've done more of it, my preference has changed a little bit as to what I like. There's another one right here, Mitchell. So we see if we can roll on them and just get them. What are the odds of that? I still got so much clutter on the graph. It's been somewhat difficult to, I mean, bait tracking has basically been out of the question with how much clutter I've had in the water. A lot of it's just like pollen and other stuff. I might have missed the cast on this one. Oh, he just started moving. We'll see if he does something here. Wouldn't that be cool to get one? Just, you got the big fancy camera in hand. He either went straight into bottom to hunt it, or he left the premise. You'll see that happen sometimes. You either get bit right away a lot of times on these baits, or the fish just bugs out when he sees that big jumpy thing. It's kind of the good and bad of this style of bait. I let you down.
Yeah, you did.
Let you down, folks.
Let everybody down. Once again.
Let you down.
Once again.
I'm gonna let you guys down, but I let myself down. You can do this.
You can do this.
You're not a loser.
I don't care what my dad says.
You're a beautiful, strong man. That's a big one. Oh man, dude. That fish was in about 35 feet of water. And he was about 20 feet down. The search bait is just such a money bait. And these are the ones you can see. I don't know if you guys can still see it here. There's another one. That's the fish I'm fighting right now. There's a big ball of bait right there. And there's another walleye actually hunting it right above that bait. And this is, I mean, this is where you find big walleyes. This
is a big
This
fish.
could be the biggest one here.
Yeah, it's acting really, really big.
I got a rod over the top of my net here.
Wow. And the rain is coming back, unfortunately.
The rain, is it starting to rain? Look
Yeah,
at him, dude.
Our window might be. Holy crap.
I mean, there's just nothing you can do. These fish are big and mean. And basin roamers. Some of these fish have kind of come off structure. Some of them are sitting off the edge. But dude, these fish clearly eat some real big bait out here based on their build. I gotta get my net out here.
Oh, I'm tangled.
Janking me all up.
The Crocs are tangled.
Yeah, we got another guy coming out here trying to beat the rainstorm. Look at those things, man. Incredible, huh? We did it, buddy. We beat the rainstorms.
You believe it?
There's portions of today where you'd swear you weren't even gonna see the opportunity to fish today.
Forecasted 1-inch hail and 60
Yeah,
mile per hour winds.
we get to the lake, and within 10 minutes, it was forecasting 60-mile-an-hour gust and 1-inch size hail. So the fact we've been able to come out here and make something happen today is a huge win. And it's supposed to obviously just rain again today and again and again. Wow, dude. Are we catching some studs or are we catching some studs?
Just
Look at the build on these things.
They're so thick.
Unreal, my friends. That's as fun as it gets right there. Beauties. How they look on your side there, Chief
Like
Editing Officer.
Like a butte.
All right,
I'm the editor, the director, the brains, you name it.
You ain't the movie star though. Sometimes
no,
you are.
Not really though.
Oh.
I just don't care to be on camera like you do.
You got more of a face for radio.
Just,
to be honest
I know what
with
you. I do. I have a face for radio, and you're the kind of guy that goes home and looks in the mirror and just has a conversation with yourself every day.
It's not true at all. I have a conversation with myself. You're not a loser. You can do this. You're a strong, capable man. But over the course of the last week, I'm trying to dodge all this weather and get a whole bunch of nothing done. I've been looking at myself in the mirror, contemplating all of it. All right, let's catch another one. You know? Mitchell, just roll it. This is a money cast here. Roll it.
Is it? All right, we'll see. We'll see.
Yep. Small?
Guy called a shot.
Is it a small one?
Is it? No way.
It's got decent. I mean, it's not going to be like a 15-inch or anything like that. No.
Nice fish.
Another pretty nice one. Not stud McDaddy.
No, but he's 25. That's a big fish.
Getting a little bit spoiled here. So I got so much clutter on the graph from just, I mean, the insane amount of pollen is unreal. And there's a few mayflies sticking to the boat, but can't really see my bait unless I get it close due to that. But what I can do is judge those fish's reaction. So basically some of these open water ones, I'll start reeling. I'll keep the bait high. And if when I see them start to move, if they kind of fade away from me, I'll drop back. Oh, I'm trying to lose this one.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Really botching this one here, Mitchell. Huh?
Oh, gosh.
We'll do that. Might have been the ugliest thing
Jeez.
you guys have ever seen. Oh, there we go. But I cast it out. The second I saw that, I did a long sequence of.
You were doing that. I was like, what's he looking at?
Mitchell's excited to make me look dumb and put that in the video, but that's all right. Look at these things, dude. Big search bait eating summertime walleyes, baby. There we go. Oh, I just ever quill myself. There we go. Studs, studs. And I know you guys are gonna ask, so we'll just kind of tell you what, show you the rod and the setup I like to use for these search baits. I mean, pretty much. Oh, sorry, cameraman. 99% of the time. 7.4. This is an Elliott Identity Series, medium light. The Identity is kind of a technique specific series rod. This one's called the Rig and Jig, but it's kind of meant for just like a live bait rigging rod, a light finesse jig rod, but the length and the action works really good for this style of fishing. 10-pound braid, Suffix 832. For fishing clearwater, I got a real long 10-pound fluoro leader on. This rod's kind of perfect because they can load that tip up real good on here. It's not a rod that you're gonna like drive you're not gonna snap jig a big heavy bait with, but it works really good for this style of fishing because they can take that tip and load it up. I can also just lob that bait out there really nice and easy with it. So that's a big contrast from our rod we're fishing the big heavy lead baits on, which have very fast tip, tons of backbone. You see that?
Yeah. I mean, you can see it behind us. It's coming.
Yeah, we're about 15 minutes away from getting smoked. Once again,
yeah,
by the weather. We had a nice little bit of fishing there though. And there's about, I don't know, when we left the ramp, there was like 7-8 guys here. And in about 10 minutes, they're all gonna be beelining back. So we may just wrap it up right there, I don't know. But incredible little afternoon, mid-morning, midday, whatever you wanna call it, window of fishing. Obviously, I would say, well, it's kind of a two-pronged approach. Search bait and Gosh, is it getting dark back there? I feel like we're gonna start hearing the rod buzzing and whatnot, but combination search bait and casting some shiver minnows around for some of these like half suspended, half basin relating fish. I mean, that's kind of just like the summer standby. But once again, we got a pile of camera gear to tear down because we're absolutely about to get crushed by another one of these big fronts. They're calling for wind, heavy rain, actually 1 to 2 inches.
Yeah, that's insane.
Utter insanity.
We just got like 2 inches a couple days ago.
I know, all that snow we didn't get this winter is coming back to get us now. But we appreciate you guys watching this one. I don't know what's going to be next. We're literally just free balling this week, trying to get somewhere where the weather's good enough to set a camera up for 12 hours or catch the fish faster than the weather gets to us. But I appreciate you guys watching this one. Caught some big fish. It was a lot of fun. Mitchell hopefully cranks out a decent edit. We'll see you guys on the next one. Oh!